Hey guys, welcome back to Eyes Forward Co. This is Cody, and today I'm committing a BMW Cardinal Sin. So if you guys tuned into the last video, I know I talked a little bit about what we're doing today, but we are installing a new front bumper on the drift car. That being said, I've already pulled the front bumper off. It's sitting right here on the floor behind me. So the first step of what we're going to be doing today, we got to rip the stock bumper off of the bumper bar and get the bumper bar put back on the car with some quick release latch pegs because I'm going to be mounting it, but I don't want to mount it fully to the bumper bar the normal way. I'm going to do some quick releases so that way I'm able to slip the jack underneath the car a lot easier. As of right now, even with the stock bumper without a lip or anything like that, the car is just too low to get onto the front jack point without a bash bar with a jacking point on it. So first we got to get that bash bar or the bumper support bar, whatever you want to call it, onto the car without a bumper on it so we can mount those little pegs and figure out where we need to mark and drill holes in the new bumper to put the quick release latches. So let's get started ripping the bumper off the bar. Okay, so bumper bar is removed from the old bumper. So my thought process is I do have some push quick disconnect latches, and since the stock bumper bar already has holes, either these or these, I'm hoping these will do better. I need to see where they're gonna line up with on the inside of the M3 bumper. But since these are recessed, I'm hoping that this gap is tall enough for the backside of the quick disconnect fitting to fit into, and also that these sit in a place that doesn't look terrible on the front of the bumper. I'm thinking I'm only going to do two. I feel like two should be enough to hold the bumper in place, especially since on these 3 Series, if you don't know, the sides just slide over these brackets. So there's nothing really needed on the side. It's mostly going to be the front mount, and I think it's going to be the best way to go about it. That being said, I do have a sim driving session to jump into. There's an online comp going on today. I've been running some free, like nothing to win, just kind of bragging rights sim competitions just to get my mental game in check, because it does help with getting the shakes out or the jitters or whatever you want to call them. But I have one of those coming up here in not too long. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up here. I'll either jump back in the garage and start mocking up the bumper bar to the inside of the M3 bumper tonight or sometime tomorrow morning. But we got to get that done. And then my other goal for the end of the weekend is to get the vent tubes for the charcoal canister looped properly. So that way I can fill it and the gas tank will vent. So I will be right back with you guys. Well, it's the next day. I missed the drift comp. I didn't realize that the bracket had been updated and we were getting Maya up from her nap, and well, they called on me and I wasn't there. So I just did a little bit of driving and then relax the rest of the night, but we're going to get back to getting the bumper installed in the car. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna take the bumper and the bumper bar inside where it's not miserably hot. I'm gonna lay the bumper bar inside the bumper and mark some of the pre-existing holes where I feel like I can mount the quick release latches. And we're gonna see if it's even, because I wanna make sure that the quick release latches are evenly spaced between the body line and the vents, the top of the vents. And then they are just in a place that they don't look stupid. So let's get on that and then we'll go from there. Okay, so I've rethought this. I kind of want to get the bumper on the car first to see, to make sure it's sitting right, instead of mounting this on the bumper and then putting it on all at once. I just want to make sure that the bumper is sitting in the right place before I start marking things. All right, so I think I got the bumper sitting kind of where I want it. Next step is going to be figure out where we're going to put the pins for the quick release latches. Now, I already did some preliminary measuring. I don't think we're going to be able to rock out with the exact idea of where I wanted to mount them before, just because the bumper does sit up pretty flush to the bumper bar, and I need to make use of that recess in the bumper bar along the middle. So the latches are just going to have to sit where they lay. So let's go ahead and get the pins in there, figure out the spacing, and then we'll keep on trucking. All right, so here's my thought process. That hole already exists in the bumper. We have a quick release latch right here. It's on the bumper goes click, and it's on the bumper bar. Obviously there's gonna be a little bit of adjustment needed, and we'll figure out. But the nice thing is that this fits pretty damn flush up. So, I mean, if there's any clearancing on the bumper bar that needs to be done, I can do that. But I think this is going to be the best method for making sure everything is nice and tight and fits the way we want it to. All right, had a bit of a different thought. There's a fan right there. Had a little bit of a different thought. What we're going to do, I'm going to try and lay the bumper down again. I'm going to use some wood screws temporarily to attach the back of the bumper to the bumper bar. There's some extruded parts of the inside of the bumper that are made for that, so I'm going to make use of them just to pull the bumper up to the bumper bar evenly, and then see if I can't mark it from there. All right, we got wood screws for the mounting holes. Now let's go ahead and try and put her on the car and see if it lines up. Okay, so the screw thing worked. So right now I'm going to go against the rule book a little bit. I'm not going to mark it. I'm going to drill as straight as I can through to the point, and then we'll go from there. All right, well, it's time to just bite the bullet and pop these holes in here. With anything I do, there's always like some doubt in my mind that I'm doing it wrong and that I'm gonna ruin it, but that's part of all of this, is learning, right? I think I have everything just about as even as it's gonna get. I've measured just about every way I can, and it seems as if I got everything right. So we're gonna find out. Right now, this is the moment of truth per se. Because if I fuck up here, well, the bumper's ruined. So without any further ado, let's ring this out. Well, there's one. Okay. Now it's time to try and get this thing clipped onto the bumper bar and make sure it's gonna work right. So if I can get it to clip, we're done, pretty much. There's some like fiddling to do with like getting the fitment right, but I'm not gonna worry about that today. It's too damn hot in the garage. I've already been out here for a really long time. I wanna go inside because I need to come back out here later because there's some more stuff I gotta do on the car. So let's go ahead and jump to it. Okay, well, after fiddling with the quick release pin on the driver's side, it was giving me a little bit of a hard time. I had that figured out. Now I think the only other thing I need to do is just to adjust the height of the bumper on the driver's side, because for the stop bumper, I just never realized it was a little bit lower than the passenger. And then we should be able to clip everything on and it'll look good. So let's try to get this finished before the day is done, because it's hot as hell outside. All right. It's not bad. It's not perfect. But from 10 feet away, it's not bad. Okay. I got the vent for the fuel tank routed and finished up. I mean, car's on the ground now. I'm liking the look of it. I think it looks really pretty good. It's a lot more aggressive and a lot less dinky looking. The only issue now is the bumper's not exactly centered, and I believe that has to do with the side mounts and also where I have the quick latches connected. That's going to be relatively straightforward to fix, but I've already jumped in the shower, cleaned up, gotten changed because we're going to head out to dinner here in a minute, and then either later tonight or tomorrow when it's cooler, I'm going to work on just adjusting it and centering the bumper on the car so that way it sits correctly, and every single time I put it on and off, it's going to be centered. And then at that point, the front end is about wrapped up. So I'm going to jump back with you guys here in a bit, but we're going to go eat. I'm starving. It's been hot. It's miserable in the garage. I got to eat. Okay, well, we're back from dinner. The sunset was getting really nice, so I quickly changed, and I didn't film anything, but I went ahead and straightened out the front bumper, so now you'll see that it's sitting centered on the car. Honestly, I couldn't be really happier with how it looks. I mean, some people don't like the look of it, some people do. I'm one of the people who really, really does like the look of an M3 bumper on a sedan. It just works for me. It looks good, and it makes the car look a bit more aggressive than this thing did. Not that this is a bad bumper, but it doesn't flow as good as far as air is concerned. And I mean, come on, look at it. It's not paint matched, but would you look at it? Just look at it. It's not bad. I really do like it. That being said, I mean, we're wrapped up there. I got the charcoal canister deleted in the back, so we finally have room, and we've removed everything we need to delete the battery tray, so that way we can end up doing a half cut on the rear bumper. Aftermarket rear bumpers are cool. I've always liked the look of half cut rear. Just looks sporty and aggressive and drift car to me, so that's the route we're going to go on this. Hopefully I don't screw it up. But as of right now, there's really not much to talk about. Aero is almost done on the car. So we have the over fenders, we have the M3 bumper. The only other things that I'm really waiting on, I do need to get a new driver's side skirt, just because when the kid who owned it before me wrecked it, this one got mangled and it's not straight or straightenable anymore. I do have to fix the rocker panel, but I think I'm only going to fix it to the point where I can mount a side skirt on it and you can't really tell. And then you'll see that there's like a little bit of rust in there. I'm not really sure what I'll do about that. Whether or not I'll just neutralize it or paint it, but part of me really just wants to wait for a full respray day for that to take place. For now, we're only going to be paint matching things. And then the only other three things that I'm waiting on as far as aero is concerned, one of which isn't even aero, is going to be sunroof delete. That's a lot of weight up at the top of the car. I never really use my sunroof. And that being said, I'm going to just delete it. 60, 70 pounds as far as everything up on the headliner and the sunroof mechanism. That's a lot of weight to cut. It's free horsepower when you're only running 170. And then roof spoiler, and I'm still trying to figure out what kind of spoiler I'm going to end up wanting to put on the trunk. Once we have all of those pieces, we're going to paint match the body panels. Rick knows a guy that can do it for a relatively good cost, so we're going to go that route. And then as far as the livery is concerned, I'm not really sure yet. You know, I'm still kind of brainstorming whether or not I want to. I think I'm going to wait until the body panels are paint matched to make a decision on that. But yeah, as she sits, she's starting to come together, and I feel like my vision is finally starting to come to fruition. That being said, that's the end of today's video. I don't really have much else to do today in the garage. Next weekend, we'll probably end up cutting the battery tray out And then Nisha's got some things to kind of update the look of the car. We're talking just corner lights, side signals, and then some new taillights that go on the trunk, just because hers fell off. But aside from that, if you guys enjoyed today's content, hit thumbs up. If you plan on coming back, subscribe. And if you want to just leave a comment on what you'd like to see in the future, leave a comment. It definitely helps me to know what you guys are looking for. I'm really enjoying doing this. A, it holds me accountable to get out in the garage and work on my damn car. And B, it's just fun to edit video and put something out every week. I really do appreciate the love and support lately. You guys all stay easy this next week. I'll see you guys next time. And until then,